Good morning everyone. Good morning sir. I am Peter del Mundo Dapat PSQ 2. So now we'll discuss about the chapter 1 Filipino influence traits and characteristics. So the Philippines is a meeting point for cultures from all over Asia and the Pacific because it has been a crossroad between the country cultures and its people. It comes from various ethno-linguistic from group that are native to the islands or migrants from various Asia Pacific regions. Filipinos are the people who are naturally born or recognized with the Philippine country. China, the United States, and Spain mainly influence the modern Filipino identity. Two Philippines are racially similar to Malays, but in terms of culture, they are more like the Spaniards. Thus, it could be claimed that Filipinos are the most hot-blooded and brave citizens in the tropical Asian cultures. Like other countries, the Philippines has its opposing values and labels, and it's believed by the Filipino that the country have the best values in the world. Though it has experienced the best values in the colonization by several countries, but the core values it has gained from the Filipino ancestors remain intact and are still honored today, like bayanihan or spirit of kinship and camaraderie implanted by Mali ancestor, the close family ties inherited by Chinese ascendants. The most well-known traits and attitude of Filipino. Positive traits. Number 1, hospitality. Is a trait displayed by every Filipino characterized by heart-warming generosity and friendliness exhibited for foreigners and local alike. Filipino are well known for being hospitable. This is one of the most popular qualities of Filipino. Most foreigners who have gone to the Philippines fell in love with the warm hospitality they have experienced while staying in the country. This is a kind of value system. Good thing is that hospitality of the Filipino is not only shown to the foreigners, but to its fellow Filipino as well. Number 2, respect. This is often observed not just by younger people, but also by people, but also of all ages. In the Philippines, respect for one's elder is a tradition. A. Po and opo. These words are spoken by the Filipinos when talking to elders or in order to show respect to a person in authority. These Filipino words mean yes when answering or talking to the elders. B. Pangmano. Another way of showing respect to the elders when greeting them. This is done by putting their elders' hand on their foreheads. C. Filipino also show respect at work by making a bow to their employers. Number 3, strong ties and religions. Filipinos values their families so much that they tend to keep families. In fact, through the generation, family go to church and pray together because their religion is important and creates a strong bond, marking God as the center of their lives. Filipino believe in only one God, and majority of the population are Catholics. It is the value system of the Filipinos to pray before eating, go to bed before the start of meeting, conference or program, gathering, etc. On weekends, most Filipino make sure to have quality time together by watching television or eating a family meal, watch movie or going to beach resorts. Generosity and helpfulness. Aside from being hospitable, Filipinos are also well known for being generous. They share what they have to the people around them even when they only have little. This could be during birthdays, wedding, or fiesta. When visitors came to the celebrate great tasting special foods are especially preferred for everyone. It is shared by friends, families, even strangers. When you will be in a trouble, Filipinos cannot refuse to help you. They are always willing to assist you or lend a hand. Number 5, strong work ethics. Strong work ethics, another good thing most Filipinos have is being hardworking people. They are always willing to work almost the whole day to provide the needs of their families. Filipino farmers to earn so little, but they work harder with not much competition. Aside from the regular work, Filipinos always find creative ways to look for other sources of income, like creating a small business from their home where they sell foods and other items for the convenience of their neighbors. Number 6, loving and caring. Because of their generosity, hospitality, religiosity, Filipino are found to be the sweetest and most loving people in the world. It is expressed by both foreigners and Filipinos women that most Filipino men are so sweet and romantic when it comes to love. They will send their beloved flowers, bring her to every romantic place, text her sweet quotes, and tell often how special she is to them. Filipino women are also romantic and very caring, which often makes some foreigners want to marry them. Women tend to prepare dinner before their husband comes home. They love and value the relationship, always staying faithful to their husband. They love deeply, sincerely. Negative traits of Filipinos: fatalism, or bahala na, or come with my attitude. What my attitude. When Filipino are facing difficulties and shortcomings, they have this attitude of leaving it up to God to sort things out. An attitude of what goes around come around. Filipinos have a tendency to surrender the future to luck. They have that strong confidence that everything will work out in his interest without doing anything. Filipinos often accept bad news or circumstances without trying to stop or change them. This can sometimes be helpful and adversity, but it can also keep us from finding ways of situation. Also, constantly expecting the worst can get pretty depressing. 2. Manana habit or procrastination. True-blooded Filipinos have the attitude of causing delays in accomplishing things or making transactions. We not we not interested or not in the mood, do it or do it do it or reserve until tomorrow or the next day to finish what they are doing or meeting their transactions. However, there are some Filipinos nowadays who take their time in doing things or in making decisions promptly. There are some who are habitually late or not showing up. There are few Filipinos who are punctual for social meetings. In fact, it is not expected of them to arrive exactly on time, especially at party. The bahala na attitude is the outcome of the manyan habit. When tasks when the tasks are left undone, this is usually notion and even expressed by people who do not care much of what lies ahead and just leave everything in fate. 3. Crab mentality. This is the attitude of some Filipinos where they tend to push each other down to clear the way for their own gain. Filipino people with this kind of mentality or attitude try this best to ruin each other, either by making issues against the other for him to turn out bad to public or to company or organization. So, confidence and trust that eventually result to their replacement. Hypocrisy. 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 This is trait of Filipino work criticisms to others, failure to live with the moral standards of the society are inevitable. The Philippines morality is highly valued. Most of us try to live up the standards set by traditional society. However, as no one is perfect, many of us are not actually able to sustain this standard. The fear of being an outcast has forced a lot of people to live a double standard life. To hide our failure in the following a norm, we tend to be condemning those who are caught red-handed. A perfect example could be the criticism faced by those who become pregnant outside marriage. The sad fact behind this scenario is that some of these critics could have actually engaged in premarital sex to only that no proof is visible. Number 5. Ningas Kogon. Most Filipino are very good at a start in doing sometimes. Nevertheless, after a few hours or days, the excitement to do or accomplish something is lost. We and become too lazy to finish what were started. Tardiness or Filipino time. Only in the Philippines that we have the so-called Filipino time, but no exactly referring to the Philippine standard time. But then again, we use it to refer to the tardiness of the person that we are waiting or who keep on coming late to the set time schedule of events. Instead of being sometimes to be proud of Filipino time bring the negative impression to our people. When the invitation is the program will start at 7 p.m. It is expected to begin at 9 p.m. This is not only cause including foreigners from getting involved in supposedly productive activities as too much time can be wasted on waiting. Number 7, gossiping. Filipinos are fond of talking about other business. It is not true that only women are into gossiping. Even men can also be nosy on other people's lives. If secrets are brought out, failures and flaws are emphasized, and relationships are destroyed. Worse as gossip, worse, worse as gossip are passed around, they tend to be twisted until final story become too far from original, thus causing more damage. Number 8, blaming. Filipino can sometimes be too self-righteousness. When mistake happen, we do not want to take to blame. We lack humility to accept our failures, and instead we point at others. This shows how irresponsible we are on our actions. This attitude destroys teamwork and reliability becomes an issue. Number 9, selfishness or being insensitive of others. Most Filipinos are insensitive to the needs and situation for others. This could be an outcome of having too many problems that Filipinos are facing, and the tendency is to focus their own needs first before others. Number 10, disobedience to simple rules and instructions. Some Filipinos, despite of the understanding of the purpose of laws and ordinance, have inability to observe and follow them. Consequently, crime, victimization, and accident rate in the Philippines are constantly rising. Poverty is getting more rampant, and lifestyle development is relaxed. Attention taker. Filipinos are fun and people-loving race. Thus, attracting attention is natural for them. Nevertheless, it is the different thing to be an ipal or kapalmox, simply being an attention grabber. Number 12, being onion skin or too sensitive. Another habit or attitude when we need to change is our being too proud, which usually results to being oversensitive. If we think highly of ourselves, then we have the tendency to put a wall around us that a signboard on our forehead is saying, I must be not respected. Therefore, when someone makes a joke or not a so positive comment about us, we feel like we are not respected and we get offended. If all people in the country do not know how to accept constructive criticism, then we can never expect unity. Number 13, living beyond their means. One of the reasons why a lot of Filipinos live in poverty, it is because of overspending. Since most people want to live an elite lifestyle, many resort to social climbing or living beyond their means. Sometimes some of us think that as long as we wear designer clothes and shoes and we send our children to the most expensive school, It is alright to be swimming in credits and loans. 14. Passivity, lack of leadership. Filipinos' lack of initiative for change is also one reason why our country does not progress. We keep on complaining against the government and other societal issues. However, we do not do anything about them. One of our excuses is the lack of it, that our small action can bring change. However, the worst reason for this could be our lack of care for what is happening around us. Common Filipino also lack courage and conference room. Most of us don't like to sit in the front seat. Number 15, other negative traits. Some Filipino women give birth at early age 16, teenage pregnancy. Some just don't mind their own business. Some have many bad habits like drinking, smoking, etc. Some poor teenagers engage in prostitution. Prostitution. There are many broken families, a lot of bad words to choose from which Filipino just can't avoid seeing those. Most Filipino tend to be with friends most of the time than to be with their parents. And that's all. Thank you.